Welcome back to everybody to another video on Michigan Sports Talk, and in this one, I'm going to be going over all the key takeaways from Michigan's 27-14 win over Iowa, and we're also going to go ahead and touch up on what Jim Harbaugh said in his post-game press conference after the game. So with that being said, if you guys are around here, make sure you guys go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and leave a like if you go ahead and enjoy the video. Other than that, let's go ahead and get right into today's video. Alright, so the first takeaway I want to talk about is how the offensive line just absolutely manhandled Iowa and their defensive line all game long at the line of scrimmage. It's very tough to do against Iowa, but Michigan's offensive line played a phenomenal game, and having the running game is such a luxury, and it really was a key factor in this one. Michigan had 172 rushing yards. And all game long, Michigan was able to run it against Iowa. They had one slip up, and that was on 3rd and 1 in the 4th quarter. But other than that, I mean, that this offensive line played a phenomenal game against Iowa's defensive line. Now, next key takeaway was Blake Corum having another big game, especially with the offensive line helping him out. He had 29 carries, 133 yards, and a touchdown to really seal the deal at the end of the game. He has just been phenomenal this season, and hey, maybe it's time to put him in the Heisman talk. Next key takeaway, JJ McCarthy in the Michigan offense, they had no turnovers in this game, and they played mistake-free football, which coming into this game, it was a huge factor that everybody was talking about, and he really lived up to the challenge and did exactly what he had to do for Michigan to win this game. Took what the defense gave him. He didn't put up big numbers. He went 18 for 24, 155 yards, 1 touchdown, and obviously the most important thing, no turnovers. He did overthrow Roman Wilson in the end zone, so again, I would like him to straighten out his deep balls. Once he gets that going, the offense is going to be very good, but he did what he had to do in this one. Didn't put the ball in harm's way. He did get hit while he was throwing the ball and kind of threw it backwards, which was a fumble. Luckily, Donovan Edwards fell on top of it, though. But other than that, he played a phenomenal game and did what he had to do. He also made a tremendous play rolling out, not getting sacked, and threw the ball into the end zone for a touchdown to Donovan Edwards. That was a phenomenal play, and he had a great game. The next thing, next key takeaway on the offensive side, Luke Schoonmaker had a great game. He had 4 receptions for 45 yards, played a really great game and had a big role for the offense in that one. He also had a great block on the first touchdown of the game, Ronnie Bell, with the reverse handoff from JJ McCarthy, who took it in to the end zone thanks to Luke Schoonmaker's downfield block for him. Andrew Anthony also saw some action. He finally got in on the action with 1 reception for 29 yards. Roman Wilson, Donovan Edwards both had 4 receptions. Ronnie Bell had 2 receptions, and didn't really hear much from Cornelius Johnson, but Ronnie Bell, Donovan Edwards, and Blake Corum all had the 3 touchdowns for Michigan in this game, and Jake Moody obviously went 2 for 2 for field goals. So on the defensive side, my first key takeaway I'll talk about is Jamon Green had another outstanding game. He's been playing very, very good for the secondary for Michigan. Secondary played well. They let Iowa pass the ball a lot. Part of it was, the pass rush as well. Iowa had 246 passing yards in this game against Michigan and only 35 rushing yards. My big key to the game was stopping Iowa's rushing game. They did that perfectly, but then Iowa started to just sink in offensively and was starting to pass the ball very, very good against Michigan's defense, but the defense did step up when they needed to. DJ Turner, one thing I want to point out, he did miss a pick 6. It would have been awesome to see him get a pick 6, put on the turnover buffs. But yeah, both teams didn't turn the ball over at all in this one. And then obviously the next key takeaway, the pass rush could have been better. However, they did show up at the end of the game, and I believe they also had 4 sacks in this one. Mike Morris had 2, Mason Graham had 1 at the beginning of the 3rd quarter, and then Taylor Upshaw and Ayabi Oki both shared half a sack. I tell you what, the pass rush has some work to do, but they showed some good signs at the end of the game. Mike Morris, Ayabi Oki, Taylor Upshaw, they were definitely getting pressure on the quarterback. Mason Graham, just a freshman, he's going to be phenomenal. I think this defense will be fine. You know, they've held teams to obviously enough points to win the game. Maryland was probably one of their worst games, but you know, this defense, they're going to get better, and I will definitely learn more from them against Indiana next weekend, and then obviously Penn State the weekend after that. Before we do continue, make sure you guys go ahead, leave a comment down below what you guys thought about this game and anything you guys have to say about Michigan's win over Iowa, as they won at 27-14. Also, if you guys are enjoying, make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe for more. But the next takeaway I wanted to talk about is how the defense stepped up when they needed to. Now, the first score Iowa had, Michigan punted it from nearly inside their 5-yard line. So Iowa got good field position, went down, completed a pass on 3rd and 22, and then scored, which was not a good sign. But they did step up on 4th and 2 near the goal line when Michigan was winning 20-7, and they picked up a turnover on down, stopping them on 4th and 2, which was a huge stand. And then Michigan went on to score with Blake Corum and go ahead to win the game. And the last and final takeaway of this game, obviously any win at Kinnick Stadium on the road at Iowa City is a good win, especially by double digits. Michigan got the job done. They did everything they needed to do to win this game, and you know, Michigan still has some work to do, but you know, they are looking like a pretty darn good football team right now. You know, they're gonna keep on getting better week in and week out, and this was a very good, convincing road win for the Wolverines. Alright, so the next thing I want to go ahead and talk about is what Jim Harbaugh said in his post-game press conference after the game. First, he said, first win there since 2005. He just said that it feels good, and it feels good to be 5-0. Like I said, obviously, tough place to win, and Michigan's first win there since 2005. Also, you know, he was talking about J.J. McCarthy, and he said he's better than me, but he reminds me of a young Jimmy Harbaugh. And he says that he loves it. He loves how he runs around and can make plays. He also said that he stressed him to, you know, not make mistakes against this Iowa defense. He also said that he tries to draw a fine line of not to overcoach him and just, you know, tries to let him play his game as well. Then at the end of his post-game press conference, he said how good of a leader Donovan Edwards is, and just good to have him back. He obviously caught that touchdown pass from J.J. McCarthy. He also had 5 carries for 29 yards, but yeah, it's obviously really good to have him back to take some of the workload off of Blake Corum. And other than that, it's pretty much going to wrap up today's video. Michigan beats Iowa on the road 27-14 to improve to 5-0 on the season. They did remain at number 4 in the AP poll today. So they'll be number 4 taking on Indiana. They'll hit the road for that one. It's a 12 p.m. kickoff and big noon kickoff again as well. But Michigan takes care of business at Iowa 27-14. Like I said, if you guys have anything to say about this game, make sure you comment down below what you guys' thoughts are. And other than that, hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, please drop a like, subscribe for more. I really appreciate it. And other than that, you all have a great rest of your day. We will see you guys in the next video.